Welcome everyone to episode 49 of Khenpo Tenzin's teachings on the Jewel Ornament of Liberation by Gampopa. We will begin today's teachings with opening prayers on page 5 of the Yellow Prayer Book. May all Mother Sentient Beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient Beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient Beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Sergio Lombo Tabra Jipego, Jaja Jabe Jadongo Janzar, Dorjan Delo Narodam, Barbamala, Juja Gamboba, Pamotraba Javan Gumba, Gajulamanam Jeda, Jonje, Danandana Zeradam Jeda, Lamala Bola, Jesus, Lazayan, Dinjam Alava. Dendra Donjendra Bagala Zor Dazo Lo Chuzan Rovers and Jalab Dozor Chulam Dan Rovers and Jalab Dozor Lam Truas Evers and Jalab Doz Truai Jizan Javars and Jalab Dozor Gangi Dinjendra Jong Gawa me Baji me Bachi Ba me Bata me Ba me Bandro me Bata de Dome Donjem Drubanya Jeje Dimba, Zoba Sanje Mananje, Damba de la Zanzar, Denje, Zavala Majije, Gozondo, Jezelanda, Dage, Julan, Bede, Dage, Dimba, Dazenje, Labo Gender Barzenje, Zo. Many touch delay, my friends. Today I will continually teach on the chapter 20th, the bodies of perfect Buddhahood. Anyhow, teaching on the kayas, three kayas. But first we have to know that here says, the Uttara Tantara says, with great compassion as the knower of the world, having seen the world completely. So this is important to understand what am I teaching, what I'm teaching now. So right now we are talking about this. We are here says some say Buddha doesn't have two kinds of omniscience. Some say Buddha has two omniscience. Some say Buddha has one omniscience, but there is no true omniscience. So this is also very important. They discussed through different reasons. The main thing is Buddha has usually we say there are two omniscience. One is the wisdom of equipoise, which means Buddha always rest in the state of Dharmadhatu, unshakably. And then another wisdom is for seeing the all phenomena, karma, cause and effect, and all phenomena is here says Buddha knows even the how to say the various cause of a single eyes in a peacock still. So then Buddha has kind of these two kinds of omniscience. So right now there are different practitioners. They discuss about that. So it says Uttara Tantara. Uttara Tantara is material Buddha taught to Asanga, and then Asanga taught to his disciples. Is then this Uttara Tantara is Tantara and Vajrayana, Sutara and Tantara both. It has also, some says it is only Sutara, some say it is only Sutara, some say it is it is only Uttara Tantara or Vajrayana. Anyhow, it says, with great compassion as the knower of the world, having seen the world completely. So in this text, Material Buddha said that. Then what Milarepa says, what Gampopa says, they later we will understand. And then when Buddhas know and see as described above, it is not as though they perceive things as real. They see and know things as illusions. Thus it says in perfectly gathering the qualities of Avalokiteshvara Sutara. Actually, this is correct because Buddha see all phenomena. Buddha sees all phenomena, and we see all phenomena. All phenomena means these appearances. But there are different ways to look at those things. The one thing appears to the Buddha and to us, but when those things appears to Buddha, at that time Buddha see them as illusion. Buddha see them illusion. But we see these things are real, truly exist. So there are two different visions, two different ways to see those things, yeah? And then through this two way to look those things makes different in the mind. So we say Buddha's mind is always peaceful. The reason is Buddha see these phenomena are illusory things. So that's where those things cannot effect in Buddha's mind. Those things cannot lead attachment and aversion from Buddha's mind. But we see this phenomena and then they brings aversion or attachment from our mind. So this is the difference is that. So right now we have a Buddha nature. Sometimes some kind of difficulty situations occur. At that time, we don't see that much. It is a serious situation. So that's where whether that situation is serious or not, it cannot affect badly in our mind. But some issue is very small issues. We feel this is a very big issue, big problems, and then it will become the small issue turned into big issue, big problems, and then it's a serious challenge in our mind. So many situations are very much related the way of the thinking. But the way of thinking means we cannot, this is just a mind. At that, only this thinking we cannot liberate. That's we have experience. But we should understand this kind of the cause of these things. We see these phenomena. Why this coming to us? Why this kind of why do these are they, or do they appear to us? Because of a mind. This is, we found a special thing. For example, we look at the mirror, our reflection face is there, and then we think, oh, this is my face. Oh, then we follow this. But then the face appears, but then after we should know face is here. So likewise, face is not in the mirror. Likewise, these appearances appear to us, then we have to know that, oh, this is the mind. And then mind, there is also something. In the mind, there is something. What is that? That is a dualistic perception. And then this dualistic perception, oh, this is my dualistic perception. If something good appears, it's pure motivation. If bad things appears, that means impure motivation. And then this motivation or pure motivation is related karma, cause and effect. So that's through, then we found the base of, cause of fundamental thing. And then we start to fix them. Fix the root of this dualistic thinking. And then we start to prevent the root of dualistic thinking. So then we can liberate. Otherwise, only we try to fix. Right now, what should we do is we try to fix these outer situations. So we try to fix these outer appearances or situations, and we do not try to fix our mind. So the problem is we try to fix the outer situation, it frequently appears. It's almost non-stop. Because this creation is inside. That's where we are. There is a says. Is it how to say it? We could not solve the main problem, or we cannot fix the main situation. So we try to fix the branch of the things. That's where it's so difficult. Then if we understand through Dharma practice, we will be able to understand that the cause of samsara, and we will be able to understand the cause of nirvana. That's where most of the time we work with cause. If we are going to improve, then we improve the cause of all the things. Cause of things. And if we are going to purify, we start to purify the cause of things. So then we can liberate. So that's the way what I try to say is, if we try to fix the outer appearances, we can fix it for temporarily, but it occurs frequently. And then, of course, we try to fix the outer appearances, absolutely. At the same time, we try to fix our mind. And we, after understand, oh, this is related to our mind, so we try to fix our mind. And then we can solve the problems greatly. And if this is not problems, if we are going to increase it, then we can develop a lot. And then, but not only mind, but the behind of this mind or way of thinking, there is a special power. That is the cause. So that's where the thing is, how to say, we should understand this, and then we can fix it. This is very important. So Avalokiteshvara Sutara says, in illusionist is not himself duped means what is that? Tracked by his conjurations. Conjurations means magical appearance. So by his conjurations, and thus through his clear knowledge of what is happening, does not become attached to his illusory creations. Similarly, those skilled in perfect enlightenment know the three worlds to be like in illusion. So this the example says, if I'm a magician, I create some like a horse or dog or something, then I display this on the stage. At that time, I know that is illusion. They are illusion. They are not real. That's why I'm not attached. That horse, and I'm not aversion if some there display some bad things. So because that I know. I know that is a magician. This is what's the illusion. Likewise, this is an example. This is an example. And then Buddha knows all these appearances are illusion. So that's where, if there's a good thing, Buddha not attached, and there are bad thing, Buddha not aversion. So that means Buddha knows that. Here says that. So that's where the main thing is, if Buddha has an omniscience which can see the illusory things, but Buddha will not fixate. Buddha not fixate on there about this. In the meeting of father and son Sutara, it says, the son is Siddhartha. Siddhartha is Shakyamuni Buddha's name. And then Siddhodana, the father is Siddhodana. Siddhodana is Buddha's father. It has 26 chapters and 4,500 verses. So in the meeting of a father and son Sutara, it says, by remaining conscious of the fact that conjurations are but illusions, So fact means by remaining conscious of the fact. Fact means true, yeah? That conjurations means things that magicians makes appear. That conjurations are but illusions. A magician will not fall under the spell, which makes you fall in their power, yeah? But magicians will not, because they know that. I pay homage and praise you, the omniscient, ones who regard all things like this. So, yeah, it is same like the above. Now some hold means someone think, yeah. Some hold the view that perfectly enlightened Buddhas do possess the pristine awareness of the way things are, awareness of the ultimate truth, but do not possess the pristine awareness of things as manifold, awareness of the relative. Something that some hold the view of that. So what they think is if a Buddha has the pristine awareness of things as manifold, manifold awareness of the relative, and then this thinking is ordinary mind. So Buddha doesn't have, or Buddhas do not have, or do not possess the ordinary mind. Buddha's mind is only a mind of wisdom. So that's where they're concerned about that. Oh, if Buddha has ordinary mind, then Buddha is ordinary being. What they thought is that. Their point is not that there is something there to be known and that the Buddhas are not aware of it, but rather that since there is nothing relative to be aware of the first place, there could be no pristine awareness that is aware of it. And also what they think is Buddha does not possess the pristine awareness of things as a manifold awareness of relative, because there is no relative things, which means whatever appears to Buddha, everything is perfect. So this is also the very good way to say. For example, I see this book, appears this books. If I never appear this book, when this book appears, at the same time appears to me emptiness. So if I appears emptiness, that means then all phenomena are emptiness. So what they say is that so there is no relative phenomena. So that's where relative phenomena are not object of Buddha. So they say Buddha's objects are only emptiness or non-duality. So that's where they thought Buddha doesn't have a second pristine awareness. Second pristine awareness, this is one thing. And also if Buddha has a second pristine awareness, then they feel that Buddha has ordinary mind. If Buddha has ordinary mind, then Buddha is ordinary being. That's what they think. Relative or conventional reality is something that appears to immature, being immature beings conditioned by afflicted ignorance, as well to the three types of realized beings who are conditioned by ignorance that does not belong to the class of affliction. So this is also actually very true. That's what they say is this the the conventional or these relative things. These things appear to us because at that time we have ignorance. When we have ignorance, then ordinary things appear to us. They say that. Mm. Uh, then they thought it says three types of realized. So three types of realized means the Sharavikas, practical Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas. But Buddha doesn't have afflictive emotions. That's where they thought Buddha never appeared this ordinary phenomena. This is analogous. Analogous means like, yeah. Analogous to the appearance of falling hair and blurs to someone with impaired sight. Impaired means damaged. So falling hair and blurs means there is some disease which this disease harms to eyes. So there is a story, probably you heard that in the word of my perfect teacher. In this, the text has this story. One day there is a boy, mother has a son, and then she loves very much her son, and her son, of course, takes care of his mother. So they spend many years together. And then one day, but he often he was a merchant. Merchant means he is a businessman. So he traveled to different places. And then he came back. At that time, he takes care of his mother. And then one day he become aging. Aging means he's become older. So that's why then he married with other women, and then other women is a very good wife. So after they married, and then he requested to his wife, I takes care of my mother very carefully, through carefulness, and so now it is time to go another place for business. So please, you take care of my mother same as me. I do. And then he requested to his wife that, and then absolutely she accepted this. She promised that I will take care of your mother as you do. And then one day, and then he left. But the mother, one day she got a disease. So that disease is exactly here says the blurrer, or the hair and blurrer. That means in the eyes always there's some kind of hair, small piece of hair coming, and then wherever looking there are lots of small piece of hairs. So kind of this disease. So then she got that disease, that the boy's mother, and then the wife, her son's wife, cooked food and always bring like a rice bowl and bring to give her, and then she look at that in rice in the bowl. This is full of the the hairs or small piece of hair here, and so then she was very upset, and she very upset because he felt that after my son left and his wife tried to kill me, so she was very upset, and then she became very thin and very she got sick, and then she felt unhappy, and she has lots of problems. And then one day her son come back, and then she told him, your wife is not good. When you are so then she feed me like a rice. She tried to kill me because she feed me rice, and then in the rice she put a lot of small piece of hairs here. So then she said that, and then she told him that, and then he loved very much his mother, and then he also so sighed, but the other one is his wife. So that's why then he said, he told to his mother, don't worry mom, I will cook for you. So that's why then he cooked and he gave this food, and then his mother look at the bowl. In the bowl is same thing, the small piece of hair, there are lots of, and then she was very much sad, feels upset or sad. Then because he thought, oh, right now my son followed his wife. He loved her wife more than me, and so my sons also don't like me. So she feel very upset, and then her son asked, is it good male or not? And then she, of course, he don't say that it's good male, and that's where then he noticed, he understood, oh, now my mom got a disease that here it's Tibetan Trashin Zanang, so Tra means here. Then so that's then he took her in the doctor, and then she recovered. After she recovered, then the same bowl, same rice, but there's no any piece of hair. So that means this is the example. That this story is a good example. So that now, before we become enlightened, we see those phenomena. This appears phenomena, and then sometimes we like this, sometimes we dislike this. So through this way, we act, and then we cultivate karma, cause and effect. We cultivate karma, we create karma cause. And then after we cultivated a karma cause, of course, one day this result appears, and then it's if that is a good karma result is well, but if that was not good cause of karma, then result is same. So that's where through this way we have then suffering and all of the unpleasant experience, unpleasant things. So that's where they says some say here practical Buddha and Sharavikas, practical Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, still they have afflictive emotions, so they can appear these ordinary things, but Buddha never appears these ordinary things. For that reasons, the main thing is what they thought is Buddha does not possess true omniscience. If there is possess one omniscience, there is only one, which is pursuing awareness of how to say the ultimate truth. Only that Buddha sees only ultimate truth, but Buddha never sees this relative truth. That's what they say here. Give that following the demand like meditative observation. Yeah. So give that follow the demand means they said Buddha the eliminated means a purified, very subtle ignorance. What is the very subtle ignorance? Very subtle ignorance is the imprinting of afflictive emotions and knowledge of obscurations. So only Buddha can purify that. That's true. Only Buddha can do that. The reason is only Buddha can arise the demand-like meditative obsession. So these meditative obsession possessed only by Buddha. So that's where then, because that is the antidote. In the Suttarayana way, it says that is the highest antidote of the imprinting of afflictive thoughts and obscuration thoughts. So that's where Buddha possessed that. Possess means Buddha belong that. Buddha has that. Buddha has totally eliminated ignorance and thus sees suchness in the way someone sees nothing whatsoever ever for a Buddha. This illusion of the relative is not present. So they think like that. So the object of Buddha is always perfect. Actually, this is also very true because during the Vajrayana practice, we say all the sounds are mantras and all the forms are dakas and dakinis or yadam's form, and all the thoughts are the Dharmakaya. Exactly what we say and what they say here is a very similar. Now, this is analogous. Analogous means, for example, or like, analogous to the fact means true, fact that to those with impaired means damage, impaired sight. There is no perception of falling hair or the blurrers. So that means in this case impaired means who has a disease of eyes, it purifies. It purifies. Who has the disease of eyes, after it purifies, as I said, shared a story of a mother, so her eyes recovered and then everything's perfect. So her son's food and the son's wife's food, I did not finish the rest of the. And then after that, her son's wife feed her the rice bowl, give her rice bowl, and it's very clean, pure. That's where she felt, then she understood, that is her disease. That is not fault of her son's wife and her son. So that's where we all this this is when Buddha Buddha purified all the imprinting of afflictive emotions. That's where Buddha doesn't have any ordinary objects. So whatever Buddha see is ultimate truth. So that what they say is that therefore such appearance of the relative occur due to the power of ignorance, and are posted only in relation to the perspective of the worldly. So generally we say there are two truths. Buddha mentioned two truths, actually four noble truths, but four noble truths, if we talk more, there are 16 truths. But the 16 truths included four noble truths. Four noble truths included two noble truths, which is relative truth and ultimate truth. So that's where Buddha mentioned about relative truth is because for the sake of people who has dualistic perception. That's where Buddha mentioned. What they say is that. So Buddha himself doesn't have relative object. That's where Buddha doesn't have a second pristine awareness, which sees the relative truth. That's what they think. In relation, Buddha to Buddhahood, they have no existence, and so there can be no Buddha's pristine awareness that perceives them. Yeah, this says Buddha doesn't have the second omniscience. Were the Buddha to possess a mind that contained relative appearances, then by definition, Buddha would themselves have to be deluded due to the manifestation of such deluded fields of experience. Yeah, as I mentioned already. This is in contradiction. So contradiction means kind of opposite. Contradiction to the scriptures, which state that the great vectors means vector means Buddha's name. Buddha has many names. Chomdin de Devyin Hikba Dra Chomba Yang Taba Zopu Sanje. So Chomdin de means Bangaven. Bangaven means who eliminate afflictive thoughts. Four maras, we say the four maras, who conquered or who purifies four maras. Through this way we call him Bangavan. Then Devyin Hikyomdinde. Devyin Hikpa means Tathangata. Tathangata means they cultivate good cause and then they will experience good results. Or they come onto the right path and go to the nirvana, reach the nirvana. So Tathangata means this. Then Dachomba means arhat. Yangdaba means perfect. Dzogpa Sanje, Dzo means complete. What complete? This is very important. Complete means they eliminate all of the dualistic perceptions. That's how they purify. And then what they accomplish is all the siddhis, all the omniscience, all the qualities, included 32 major and 80 minor marks. Everything possessed by Buddha. So that's where the Buddha has very many names. But then here says, so vectors are constantly in a state of meditative equipoise and so forth. Meditative equipoise is very important. So all of our meditation is included meditative equipoise, but this is there is a Tibetan in the Dharma words, clear means sal je zo. Sal means clear, je means expand or increase, zo means complete. So we meditate for 1 hour or 1 minute. Especially there are 37 enlightened faculties. So these are among them. First is 4 thoughts: the mindfulness of body, mindfulness of the feeling, mindfulness of mind, mindfulness of phenomena. So these 4 are very important, because today if you meditate for 1 minute, so that mind of meditation is like a river. It continually follow. When you attend this, then eventually it will become meditative equipoise. Pristine awareness of meditative equipoise. So if you ignore that for 1 minute meditation is not important, and then probably 1 hour meditate for 1 hour is not important, and then meditate for 1 day is not important. Eventually, then uh, we cannot see the meditation is how the value of meditation, and then eventually we cannot achieve the pristine awareness of a meditative equipoise. So you should see that Buddha always hold. Sometimes, for example, Amitabha Buddha hold 2 hands together in the navel side. So that means that it displays meditation, action of meditation. And in the Buddha's qualities, there are many words. They call it the praise to Buddha, and they say one word. It says, Buddha never stopped to practice meditative equipoise. Never. So this is very important that we say Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is unshakable, unmovable. Where shall we find Dharmakaya? Okay, Dharmakaya means we generally think that or we feel that Dharmakaya means eventually we will attain Dharmakaya. So that's generally what we think. But Dharmakaya means unshakable. Unshakable means your mind does not follow thoughts. For example, you are meditating for 5 minutes. During that term, for 1 minute, your mind is stability. That is Dharmakaya. And then you perhaps one thinks that, then Dharmakaya is not perilous, not important, because at that I rest in 1 minute unshakably. At that I don't have bliss, I don't have clarity. This I agree that many practitioners feel like that. But clarity and bliss, you are going to cultivate the cause of this experience, and then appear or occur them. So when they occur to us, at that time, right now we say, meditation is very important, you should meditation. But if you experience bliss, clarity, especially union, the non-meditation, these 3 things, and we say, don't meditate, still you like it. At that time, then we should start to say that your attachment, fixate on the meditation is not good. But otherwise, sometimes I think this is a little too early to say don't fixate. But please don't misunderstand. In some case, it's not too early, exactly. Especially the Rinpoche, they knows what time exactly give the point, and they gave exactly the point. So they understood the student's mind. Kind of for me, sometimes I say it that not sure, perhaps it's too early. But generally what I feel is, if I little bit use some exaggeratedly, I shared some my own experience. Sometimes little attachment is good. That's what I think. Little attachment means, for example, I meditate at that moment. If during my meditation, if I experience a kind of nice, like a joy or some kind of clarity or this part, if I like it, I like to do continually. If suddenly I apply the antidote of this, and then almost it's no more feelings, and then quite difficult. But you all have much experience, much greater than me, so you know that. But generally, the fixation is not good. Sometimes I have good dreams, but that is important. If you can do that, then it's helpful. You have a good dream, you should happy it. You should happy. Even morning you wake up, open eyes, still you remember the beautiful dream, nice dream, and so you should be happy with that. Be happy with that. That dream is nice. And the other side, what you should do with some the very terrible dreams, if you can transform them into the good way, that's very good. If you can't, then you don't trust that dream. So sometimes you trust good dreams and don't trust the bad dreams. So that's what I think. It helps us with the way of practice, during the way of practice. So the best thing is all bad dreams are good dream. That is very important. Then relation Buddhahood, where the Buddhas equipoise mind. Yeah, this I read. Okay. This is a contradiction. That's also I read. Yeah. As it says, for instance means, for example, yeah, in the vast manifestation Sutara, this Sutara name, totally pure and perfect Buddhas are at all times in meditative equipoise. This is important, yeah. Totally pure and perfect Buddhas are at all times in meditative equipoise. That's I already tried to say, but if it did not make sense, then what I tried to say is this. So this is all times meditative equipoise, yeah. So those with this view says of this the proponent means proponent means upholder. The proponent of the former viewpoint asserts the following: it is not the case that just by virtue of being a subsequent meditation state it involves distraction and so forth. Yeah, now it is talking about some just answered for this. What they say is if Buddha has a second omniscience, this kind of third person says that. If Buddha has first person says, if it's not too much, I repeat again. First person says, oh, Buddha has only one wisdom, which is always equipoise meditation, unshakably meditate. So don't follow any phenomena. So this third person answered that, or suggest that thinking, the first person's thinking. What they see, this person says, if Buddha appears all phenomena, still Buddha's mind not scattered. It's still Buddha's mind or Buddha's wisdom is equipoise meditation. Then they say, therefore there is no contradiction with the scriptures such as the ones that state that the Buddhas always remain in meditative equipoise. So these kind of questions or discussions are very helpful to us. Sometimes you also ask me that, oh, in this text it says something, but that text is something. What is this? That's so it's quite similar. So this is a wonderful question. So then this third person said there's no contradictions. Some texts say, oh, Buddha always rests in the meditative equipoise. But Buddha still can see all phenomena. So how can? So we think it's unfathomable, but this is fathomable because Buddha can do it. So that's the third person explain about that. Therefore, there is no contradiction with the scriptures, such as the ones that state that the Buddhas always remain in meditative equipoise. It is also incorrect to state our perception to be deluded simply because illusory objects appear to it. So again, this person clarified that. Also, if you think if Buddha has this personal awareness which sees all these ordinary phenomena, then you say Buddha have illusory illusory thoughts. Buddha has illusion because Buddha sees illusory phenomena. That is your reason, but it says this is incorrect. For although all the illusory phenomena that are the objects of others' illusions do appear to the Buddhas, the mind perceiving them recognized all of it to be illusions. Furthermore, they dispel them, using them as a cause for the higher rebirth, purity, and liberation of beings. So how could there be delusion? Thus, when they are recognized as mere means only mere illusions, that which is not in illusion is perceived with certainty. So this third person answer or share his one suggestion is that if Buddha sees illusory things, then Buddha's mind will not become illusion. This is also very logical and very true. For example, if we see water will not make weight, or we are not sink in the water. We see if we go near the edge of the edge or near the ocean, we are not fall into the ocean. So likewise, Buddha sees samsara, but Buddha not fall into the samsara. So this answer is very logical. Yet others say that there is no great logical harm in holding the relative as a valid objects, provided one does not cling to it as real. Others say that. But then they suggest that Buddha need true omniscience. Buddha must need true omniscience, which is pristine awareness and wisdom are same. Okay, pristine awareness of meditative equipoise. Buddha possesses that wisdom, and also Buddha possesses pristine awareness of this how to say seeing these phenomena things. So Buddha have that, but still Buddha's mind is not illusion. So this illusion or illusory. So that person's not delusion. Yeah, that person says that. And those who hold the first view maintain the Buddha do not possess subsequent pristine awareness. That is referred to as pristine awareness of things are manifold. Thus is it's quite similar. The first awareness of the way things are is undiluted equipoise and without mental activity. The next awareness of the manifold is with appearance of delusion, subsequent knowledge, and mental activity. So these also one thing. This is also some says the Buddha has two omniscience. First omniscience is undiluted, and second omniscience is diluted. Something that those who hold the second view that Buddha do not possess the pristine awareness of things are manifold called as their authority. Authority means a text which we can trust. Yeah? Authority, the infinite means of purification sutara, the sutara name. Having reached true and perfect Buddhahood, the Tathagata neither knows nor has in mind any phenomena whatever. Why is this? Yeah, this says that in this here says, oh, Buddha has no omniscience because now it doesn't say one or two. Buddha doesn't possess omniscience or pristine awareness because there is no phenomena. It's all phenomena are like empty space. Then what Buddha should see? Why Buddha wants those wisdom? They say that because there exists no objective reality whatsoever to be known. Yeah. Furthermore, it is said some non-Buddhists say, okay, this is a non-Buddhist. Until now, in the Buddhist, their views mentioned here. Some non-Buddhists say that you speak of going to liberation. Yet, when you have arrived at peace, nothing remains, like something burned away. This concludes my review of divergence. Divergent means different. Standpoints means views, different views. Yeah. Around this particular issue. So till now, Gampopa mentioned other Buddhist and non-Buddhist how they say about Buddha. Some say Buddha doesn't have omniscience. Some say Buddha has one omniscience. Some say Buddha has two omniscience. One is delusion. One is undiluted. And so there are many views. Just Gampopa mentioned, but Gampopa did not tempt us. So these makes more help us to increase our wisdom. Wisdom is the antidote of ignorance. So that's where these are important. And then Geshe's position, probably this is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think is Gampopa, his name. Gampopa is actually Geshe because Gampopa is the union of the Sutarayanas Mahamudara and Vajrayanas Mahamudara, who hold together. So I mentioned often about Gampopa. So that's where then what he think, what he now we listen Gampopa's view about the omniscient. Okay, on Buddha, pristine awareness is as follows. Yeah, follow. The actual pure and perfect Buddha is the Dharmakaya. So then Gampopa says, real Buddha is Dharmakaya. Okay, the very term Dharmakaya, embodiment of Dharma. So here's a so Dharmakaya, Dharma is okay. The very term Dharmakaya, term means the word, yeah, TERM term. Very term Dharmakaya, embodiment of Dharma is applied to the exhaustion of all errors. So that means Buddha does not, Dharmakaya does not belong any single faults. So that's where exhaust. exhaustion of all errors means that. And thus its nature is defined in opposition to errors. So that's where the Dharmakaya, it is the nature of Dharmakaya is the completely pure, completely clear, utterly perfect. So that's where there's no single error. Yeah, it is expressed in this way merely means only, as I mentioned, only as a convictional reality. In actual fact, Dharmakaya itself is unborn. So what is Dharmakaya? Dharmakaya is unborn and free of conceptual elaboration. Elaboration means many things. Unelaboration and elaboration is different. Sometimes it's important for Dharma teachers to understand these Dharma vocabulary are very important, extremely important. But also, all of Dharma practitioners want to know the words. Generally, we use elaboration and unelaboration, and in the Dharma words, elaboration, unelaboration. So sometimes we use often. I don't know. You really have this problem. Sometimes we heard elaboration, unelaboration often, but when we use in the Dharma, we understand different things. This is a special way, special, like a profound or something. Actually, that belief is good, but the elaboration means many things. So that's where Milarepa mentioned about the 4 yoga of Mahamudra in this set. So unelaboration. It says unelaboration. How should we do is that, for example, you are meditate Mahamudra in your heart. There is only Om Ahom, Om Ahom, Om Ahom, Om Ahom. These 3 syllables on the wall, nothing else. And then what should you do? You are rest on the meditative equipoise, and then your thoughts arises. Sometimes very strong thoughts arises, and it directly disturb or interrupt your meditation. And then you open the eyes and look the Om Ahom and the Vajra recitation. It has many ways, but one way is that you follow breathe. So Om Ahom. So our life is only three steps. Our life is 3 steps. Our fruition is 3 steps. Our practice through 3 steps. What is that? Oh, breathe in, little remains, and breathe out. So our life is that, included 3 steps. It doesn't matter if our life is only karma create only 3 steps for us for this life. It's okay, but we can achieve 3 kayas through 3 steps. What is that? Om Ahom. So Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nimanakaya. So that's where we found 3 kayas through these 3 steps. So these meditators, so then look at the Om Ahom. So then close. So at that time, even they see 3 letters there, they thought that is elaboration. So now you understand, yeah, meaning of elaboration. Unelaborated. Unelaboration means they don't want to focus about breath. This Om Ahom Vajra recitation is also too much. What they should do is they completely rest in the meditative equipoise. So that's and then if they are little fall of elaboration activities, and they focus the 3 letters. So that is generally how one way to meditate the Mahamudra. So that's where Milarepa he stayed in the cave. So he says, oh, he has 12 happiness or comfortable. So I don't remember all of this suddenly, but I remember one is he says on the meditation question is seems is one yak's skin is a small piece of yak. It's yak skin or what's called leather with a fur. Papa. No, I don't know. Skin with on the skin has a fur, and then top of there has a small. Right now we have a small piece of meditation. This is important when you meditate. You use that. So Milarepa said it's very comfortable. He said that because is continually keep your meditation. So that's where. If your body is fun, your mind is happy. Your mind is happy, your dharma is there. So that's this. And then second is the meditation belt you hold. So Marpa says has a special. Marpa said actually the special the way to keep the body positions. That in the reality, its examples are pretty words are pretty smart, but in the included seven point of postures. But it says it's like the examples are like a hook and chains and it's like the one example I can translate. Anyhow, he used what is the meditation belt, and then the body positions is very similar. They mentioned the 7 point of postures, and anyhow, we call outer interdependence. Outer interdependence means if we keep body postures very well. This is outer interdependence. This outer interdependence helps inner interdependence. So how do we, that is, it's very similar like a print. If I have one paper with Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, if I bring this paper and put it into the, this electricity, the copy, we copy it. We put on there and then we click somewhere and we print or copy it. Likewise, this body, if we keep very well this position, the 7 positions, if your one's body is okay, and then in the channels, they exactly come into their nature. When channels comes to the very natural, the wind follow very naturally. So I give you another example. If there is a small river, I think it's called river, very small river, and in this river there's not big stones, the water is going very smoothly. If we pull there very big stones or some object, and then there's start to wave, and then water start to make noisy, or then water move different places, areas, or so it's scattered or so forth. It's not smooth. Likewise, if channels straight and goes very well means very natural is very important. Natural, organic, like a very natural, and then wind moves very naturally. Wind moves through naturally, and then mind automatically clear. Our mind is automatically clear. When our mind start to clear, so this clarity or clear, with the through this clear or clarity. We're training with this clarity, and then eventually this clarity increases, and eventually it reach means that will become the foundation of clarity, or Dharmakaya. So that's where then Dharmakaya also bliss. Bliss means we stay, keeps it like a 7 postures, meditative postures or something, very comfortable. First, a little uncomfortable. Does not mean it uncomfortable. First, really it's hurts, knees or everywhere is uncomfortable, but stay more and then become very comfortable. So it saves the time. Save the time means first we stay like this for 1 hour during meditation. Meditate, we there's no chance to meditate. Only hurts or the back or knees or something. Only focus there. How I should exchange. If I move too much, it's the good way to thinking. Okay, or my next meditate, I interrupt their meditation or something like that. So then try to make efforts, but then slowly it will become familiar. And now if stay like this way is very comfortable. If it's not too much, I will share you this really happened, that story. When I first went to the Gar monastery in Tibet, first means that I entered in the Gar monastery. I was very small, so I don't remember how after months or after what there was one Drupchin. Probably it was a Vajiklai or something. And then I sit there. Still, we have a discipliner. They're in the door side. Very how to say, top guy. It's a very strong person. Even he looking like that, as we should nervous that. But my knees are so difficult to cross like this way. So we have a puja table like this, but often change. Because I was short, it's comfortable. Later come, I change. So difficult. But the audience, these lay practitioners come, they recite mantras, on the door side. And the evening, it was become very dark. It's last session, evening session. Then there was a downfall blazing. We do here mandala, the dance, Dagini dance. The 7, what is called, prayer. So it's ready to do that, and then lamas, they did that. And at that moment, all monks should stand up. They all stand up and wearing dharma robes, and but I have a P. But then this table is little higher, and also I'm very shy and so nervous that if only I go in, everybody stand up, recite mantra with these horns and then symbols, everything. Everybody look. I'm very I have a P, but I cannot go outside. And then the window side, we see outside is dark. I was very hot. And then looking this way, they are very tall monk. Looking this way, they are very tall monk. They wear the red hat like this. I cannot fashion. I just I pee. How to say? Pee in the temper. I really did that. So this experience is so. I shared that experience. Experience means what happened is. Fortunately, they didn't see it, but on the carpet there is a small red piece. There's a red which use. We have that. I remember I collected them together with my feet, legs a little bit, and fortunately front tabor is very higher, so nobody see it. And then these monks are very tall, so I look at this is they are very constantly recite mantra. I forgot who are them, but and just used like a bathroom there, and I did that. So that's where it's first time everything is difficult, really difficult. So when you do meditate, it's really difficult, hurts knees. But the one thing is some has a particularly knees problem, back problem. Then of course you should be free. Otherwise, keep body structure is very important, and the mind, wind, then channels wind, and then how to say mind will become clear. So I say sometimes we stay very keeps with seven posture that we experience later comfortable. So this comfortable will increase, it will become happiness. This happiness increases, it will become bliss. So that's where everything are here. Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya is here, and their seeds are also here with our body, speech, and mind. So that's Dharmas. In actual fact, the Dharmakaya itself is unborn and free of conceptual elaboration. Yeah. Free of conceptual elaboration and unelaboration are totally same. Jutsu Malarepa's position is as follows. So of course, Jutsu Malarepa is the root guru of Gampopa. So one day, so the Gampopa met Malarepa, and then Malarepa gives profound teachings for 30 months. Gampopa spent 30 months with Malarepa. So then Gampopa became the Malarepa's heart son, like the sun. That's why we call, he has two sons, the hearts. He has many sons. Among them, the Gampopa is the heart sun like the sun. Rechongpa is heart sun like the moon. And then there are some many disciples. So that's where then Malarepa position is as follows. That Gampopa talked about what Malarepa said. What we call pristine awareness is this very uncontrived awareness. This word is very important. Uncontrived. Uncontrived is very important. Means we became very good practitioners, but we contrived. We efforts, or we cannot practice through uncontrived. Uncontrivedly, probably. Uncontrived or contrived are opposite. So contrived means we make efforts. So sometimes we are resting in the samadhi at ease. Oh, I'm looking this hour. This clock is this clock. Oh yeah, thank you for letting me know. Otherwise, I will teach here 1 month. I'm looking at that. It's always stay. So that's the uncontrived and contrived are big different. So some uncontrived when it's coming, I think first we practice with efforts, meditate with efforts. The car and our way of meditation is very similar. That's I think. Then now I understand a little bit how to drive. So that's where if sometimes if we go up, we really have to press down gas pedal, press down. But on the higher way, we just keep in how to say press and keep balance, and then we don't want to too much press down. It's almost naturally or automatically fast going lugways. So before car moves, we are going to press the gas pedal lugways. We first will make efforts, make very comfortable, whatever you have to adjust, you do that, and after 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, it comes in the nature. So at that moment, you don't apply the diligence. Actually, diligence is very, very important, but it has time, it has a moment. So that's where at that moment you just rest there. So it's better to not apply diligence. Okay. Beyond all such terms means the words, different words, yeah, and ideas, as is or is not. That means yes or not, in eternal or nothing. Therefore, no matter which terms are used to express it, there's no contradiction. Oh, even if someone with an ambition to become learned were to ask Buddha himself about this topic, I do not think there is something definite that he can say about it. See? Sometimes, if I say that's okay, but sometimes we think Dharma teaching is a very kind of a lie. L-Y-E. L-I-E. Lie. Because there's something, lots of it, but in this case, it's lead our mind into the true nature. But the real, who spoke, real honest, who is the honest and truth or ultimate is, I feel the Dharma, Buddha taught. So here, that's where here says, Milarepa said, if you ask Buddha what is Dharmakaya, Milarepa says Dharmakaya means this uncontrived awareness beyond such terms, ideas, yes, no, permanent, impermanent. Yeah. Beside that, Buddha has no answer. So that means very true. So Buddha Dharma teaching very true. The honest means we are really come into the very nature. We come to the very nature. So that's where, okay, first I say, oh, the Dharma seems lie means we think, oh, I have angry emotion. This is really angry emotion. Or I have this situation, I have that, or this temper is here. So we say that, but Dharma says it's unelaboration, emptiness. So that's where we think it's a kind of lie. It's not true because this is here. You see, I see, you feel, I feel. Then, so that's, but then there's no tabor, and then we follow that, not blindly. We follow that through experience, through our wisdom, and eventually we found emptiness of tabor. The why came eventually. Why we were able to find the emptiness of tabor, because tabor is emptiness. That's where I thought Buddha is very honest. He mentioned very true. Also, if we touch the fire, it burns. This is true for us, but Buddha says in the reality, fire is not hot, because this is simplicity. Hot is just extra thought. Exactly, as I'm shared a mother's story. So when she recovered from her eyes problem, and her son's wife's food and her son's food are clear, pure. Likewise, if we purify the ignorance and dualistic thinking, this chapter is emptiness. Now all sufferings are emptiness. That's where the Buddha lead us in the truth path. And the Buddha mentioned the truth. So here Milarepa says, Dharmakaya means what Milarepa he taught, because Milarepa said that confidently, because Milarepa found Buddha in his mind. So that's why Milarepa always say, don't search Buddha outside. Milarepa is example. Many masters, included all gurus, they often said, don't search Buddha outside. At the same time, I would like to plus one thing there. Also, we should search Dharma outside. Of course, we will not search Buddha outside of our mind. Likewise, we don't search Dharma outside of our mind. Even we have books, Dharma books, and bring all of these things and let we use these books are key to open our wisdom. Notes, the notes of open the notes of channels, open the notes of wind. Actually, we don't say notes of wind, but if wind blocked somewhere, we make clean there. So that's where all this Dharma bring in the mind. Oh, everything, it's really delicious. Delicious. If I use that, I'm not sure okay or not, but we feel that. That's where the, what to say, this Tomi Zambo is 37 way writer of who wrote 37 way of a Bodhisattva. He said, if I'm sick, I'm happy because it purifies my previous negative karmas. He said, I'm happy means not only lip service, he real experienced that. So that's where it happened. So it's important to utilize that. So when we read book, all the information is just leave in the book and close and put back. Then the book and our mind has a distance, many distance. The rivers, mountains, there are lots of far. So that's where it cannot benefit. So everything we cannot bring, but important things bring into the mind. Oh, how should utilize something we are going to utilize for melt this something purifying, something improve. So there are, so books means that so that's where the books are very important. Just recently Garshin Rinpoche said that if there is this size of gold here and the other side this size of a book, he would like to prefer the book. So because in the one book, so actually treasure we mentioned in the Nyingma tradition, there are many treasure possessions or possess these activities. In the Kaju also have. So treasure or terchu, treasure means, for example, yellow the pepper treasure. There are only few words. Or sha or sa, something like few words. Some has only one letter and then these are who purifies their obscurations from their mind, and they see the many things. Oh, this, and then they wrote many volumes. Lung Chinpa wrote many volumes. He did retreat in the one, solitary place. He wrote amazing Lung Chin Zu Dun, or there are many volumes he wrote are profound. One or two sentences changed people's life. Usually, as I said, life means only 3 steps, but then if we multiply that, the life is little. So who can change? Few words change the people's life. Change people's life means it's a change way of thinking. So that's why it's really profound teachings. So that's why we are going to bring all this reading book and all the practices into the mind. So that's why we have always protector. We have always helpers, and so it's very, very important. Dharmakaya is beyond the intellect. Yeah, this is very important. Intellect. What we this book, in this book says something, that book says something, but in the mind and these informations are not union, then it's become intellect. But not only during the teaching, even we are practicing sadhanas and recite mantras. Actually, mantra is, we call dharani in Sanskrit. Dharani means zone, hold. Hold means, usually we say it keeps memory, but the main thing is, for example, syllable R. Syllable R is the cause of all Manjushi's names. So during the Yamitaka, we have many papers have to read. Yeah, some read that. So these come from A, because in that text it says A is the excellent syllable. A is not boring. A is unboring, unceasing. So that means just we read only A, for example, A. Then we remember the meaning of A. A means unboring. But the thing, unboring, yeah? Or A isn't unboring means we put A over there, that is unboring, it doesn't benefit. For example, I'd say, if this book is A, and I say, oh, this book is unboring, this book is unboring, is not. This book is A, yes, it says unboring, and then we are going to remember what, for example, when I recite my headache, I'm headache. Head is unboring. That sickness is unboring. Or someone using harsh word, this is unboring. So that means how we liberate through the meaning. So the dharani means that. So that's where we are counting mantras. If we cannot understand one by one everything, but basically we should understand. It's very important, the meaning of the these mantras and so forth. It helps helpful, and so we are sometimes repeat. The reason is that repeat. For example, we recite this refugee and generate bodhicitta part 3 times. There is a lot of reasons. These reasons actually related our breath. So if a person who has no disease means, of course, generally, but the inner elements are very balanced, and kind of that person breathe one day 21,000 the breath. So in this breath, there are wisdom wind also goes through this way. Most of them are the karmic wind, but some wisdom wind coming to this way. So that's where we recite this mantras, and sometimes we recite the 3 jewels like 3 times. In the Suttarayana, it doesn't explain that much, but I can explain Suttara and mantra both, Vajrayana both in this case, because this jewel ornament teaching is a union of the Suttara and the Tantra. So that's why here mentioned about the 4 kayas, 3 kayas. Otherwise, in the Suttarayana, they don't mention 2 more kayas, more than 2 more kayas. So that's why the mind, the winds are very important. Then if in the Vajrayana teachings, they mentioned the numbers of wind. How many winds can create? Right now I use create, okay? Otherwise, breath. Breath, how many wisdom wind? And then how many, it takes how many hours, how many days, how many months, how many years. So counting, and then after in this level, how many wisdom wind you breathe. At that time, how much you can purify your imprint of afflictive thoughts. So it mentioned very clearly. So then okay, thus the does not uphold the standpoint. Standpoint means the view. Another word, standpoint in the dichotomous. Dichotomous means dichotomous. Dichotomous means two sides. Dichotomous trims characteristics above. Yeah. So two sides. Dichotomous means two sides. Two sides means permanent and impermanent, or nihilism and eternalism, or right or wrong, kind of these things. So there's no doesn't have. Yeah. It says in the Ornament of Mahayana Sutara, liberation is simply the exhaustion of error. So liberation means simply exhaustion of error. So which means error means the afflictive thoughts and obscuration of knowledge. So when we free from there, how should we free from them? We are going to finish them. Exhaustion means finish, yeah? So how should we exhaust? First, we are going to see the faults of this. So for example, Shantideva said, sometimes you are going to rest as a wood. Shantideva said that. How should we be as a wood and a when? Oh, this is our question. How should we be as a wood? Means almost unconsciousness. So which means that one person coming here start to mention, you utilize some harsh word or harmful action here, and I become like a wood. So when and how means that. So that means how we apply patience. And same like attachment. Or there's something and attachment arises, and then try to be as a wood. And same like other emotions, jealousy, self-pride, any emotion. This is one way. How we, this is the beginning of exhaustion of afflictive thoughts. And the second level, we apply antidotes. The antidotes are through the four powers. During the Vajrasattva practice, we have four powers. In front of tankas, in front of gurus, in front of stupa, we confess. And then we commitment, will not happen this. And then we maintain. So this is a second method. And third and highest method is understand the essence of this. Essence of that. That is very important. One rest at ease in one object, the meditate on the non-meditation, like a Dharmakaya state on the Dharma stage on the Dharmakaya, rest on there, and other thoughts arises. This is very important. There are two many methods, but the one is, if we are resting on the non-meditation stage, and then there's another thoughts occur, And then we are there in the highest way. We can move here. Just acknowledge that and rest there. This is important. You move there and come back. There's a way, but this is not highest. You acknowledge and don't follow, and you should back here and rest. And then this thought arises, acknowledge, you go there, you means your mind goes there, and then acknowledge that and don't, oh, this is afflictive thoughts, so I don't follow, and one comes back here. But this is not highest way of meditation. Highest way is you are here, but this thought arises, acknowledge and rest, went there, rest, and it melt. Because your resting or relaxation is become very powerful. This is like a darkness, and your relaxation or resting of your mind, or not resting, your meditation mind is like a candle light. So that's where it's melt. And then this, you are rest here, it become very flat. And then it's possible another thought arises and acknowledge and went there. So that's where in the Kundazambo prayer also says Rigpa son, you rest on the Rigpa, tip of Rigpas. So you suddenly acknowledge any thought occurs, and then you are rest there. Rinpoche often quoted that Shirik Rangtsuk Mahirwa. Rangtsuk Mahirwa means don't lose your kind of your program or your or the action of a meditation. So that means this Kundazambo prayer said, and Rinpoche often said these two we are going to apply together. One is we should acknowledge that thoughts. That is what we said. It says from Kundazambo. Second is then you rest there like freely. You rest there freely, and then these thoughts cannot interrupt. Then many thoughts arises. It's a condition to develop your samadhi. So that's where then it quickly increases your practice. Really, I have a proof example. Shakyamuni Buddha, he meditated 6 years, but his master, his teacher, meditated 37 years. 37 years after he became Buddha's disciple. But that is amazing, yeah. Buddha has first five disciples. One of that is his disciple. But first he was Buddha's teacher, really. So that's with the knowingly, skillfully. Skillful means method. You meditate. It's hour, day, months, year increase. Really increase very quickly, because the reason is it's the nature state of mind is Dharmakaya. So this is our background, our foundation. So the fortune that let you know, okay, this is very, very fortunate, because we don't want to create it. If we are going to create the fundamental of our mind or Dharmakaya, then so difficult. So we don't want to create it. But what should we do? For example, there is a very beautiful place. Only we have to clean some trash on this place. It is an example. Another is there is a water pond. In the winter, it became frozen. So only break the ice, small piece of ice. That's where every day can't do it. If every day we are going to make water, then it's so difficult. Even we are going to pull their water, is so difficult. Yeah, It's quite deep. This point is pretty deep. So likewise, we aren't creating foundation of our mind, nature state of our mind. So on this surface, on the top of this nature state of mind has a few very simple afflictive emotions. Sometimes we are going to look down our afflictive thoughts. We should think, say through mentally, you are very simple. You are like a darkness in the cave. The cave's facing is north side, no sun coming. There's area for 100,000 eons. I explained about number of eons, yeah? So you know eons how long? Great eons, great cosmic eons. Their remains are very thick darkness. But we just bring their simple candlelight. We turn that, this darkness goes away, disappear. Likewise, our afflictive emotions are very simple. Even their nature is Dharmakaya. So light can remove darkness because the nature of darkness is light. That's the way we can do it. So that's where we can easily remove our afflictive thoughts and so forth. Then we don't too much afraid of our afflictive thoughts, and yeah, I think then we will stop here today, and then let us dedicate our virtues. I remind you that this first to the 10 bodhisattvas, how they improve their practice. How do they improve their practice? And how they keep their merit. There are three things, yeah? We learned about these three things. One is among these three things, one is dedication. So dedication is we keep very important things somewhere, very safety place. So that's where until we attain Buddhahood, never exhaust. So that's where dedication is extremely important, and the merits are very important. If we have merits, we can accomplish our virtues successfully. Okay, so let us dedicate and remember all 10 directions and 3 times Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. All of this merit bring together with our merits, and then we dedicate for welfare all mothers and human beings. Chanjo Zenjo Rinpoche Maji Banan Jejorje Jebar Nyambar Mebar Ya Gone Gonda Bewar Jo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much, you all. May you all have a happy mind and a healthy body, and all the best.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone who joined us on the live stream. Please join us again this coming Sunday at 10 a.m. Arizona time for Waitara and Burning Away Afflictions for the Living. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.